Hello everybody, it's Larry and welcome to today's video. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. Normally I'm trying to help people with DNA surprises or breaking down walls and finding that next person in a family tree. This one we're actually going to do something different. This time we're going to talk about your DNA match list and how to find out how they're related to you. And that can be a challenge sometimes. Now, this came up this week to me, and it happens occasionally where I'll have a cousin say, "Hey, I was watching your videos and I saw our family on there, and it was really kind of fun seeing a video about my family and our family." And we'll strike up a conversation, and that happened this week. And in particular, it happened with Arizona PC gal. And she contacted me, and we spoke by phone, visited for a little bit. And you see here it's 7 centimorgans. So that's out at the far fringes. I didn't know how we were related because I hadn't tracked everybody on my tree to that distance. I've talked about that before. Now I'm going to talk about how to do it, and I'm going to give you 4 specific ways that you can find people and how you match to somebody. Now, we're not looking for the missing person. It's somebody that you already know that you DNA match to. So it's really, we're working from your DNA match list. How do you match them? So here we go. Over here on the right, notice my mouse and it's the arrow, but as I come to the left, it turns into a link, and it stays a link all the way across the picture and all the way across the picture, top to bottom, left to right. It doesn't matter where in this picture you click. You can click on her, you can click on me, you can click on the shared link in the middle. It all takes you to the same place. It doesn't matter. So click on the photo and it brings you up to the shared page. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do here, I said, I kind of outsmarted myself, made it longer. I wanted to look at the ethnicity because I know, my tree and different sides have a slightly different ethnicity, and I was hoping to identify it. Well, 23% Scott-Irish, 23% Scott-Irish, 65, 76. It was close enough that the margin of error was such that I couldn't really tell from that. I looked at the shared matches. Well, mother side, okay, I know how they're connected. And so we come up here and it's like these are 3 people I hadn't seen, but I know it's on my mother's side because they match my mother's DNA test. All right. So I know it's on my mother's side. That's the only clue I have so far. I come back to the tree page. Now, the tree page, as you see, it gives you 4 generations. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 generations. But remember, we talked in the video, if you click this expand tree, it'll bring you 7 generations. So, there's you, parents, grandparents, great, second, third, fourth great grandparents. And now through lines goes to 5th great grandparents, but the generations shown on the tree only goes to the 7th generation or the 4th great grandparents. But remember how we talked about shared surnames are in green. So we've got Buchanan as a shared surname, Alexander. So is this it? Well, maybe it is, maybe it didn't. Now, pardon me here, I'm going to scroll really quick to the bottom. Hopefully that wasn't too painful on a TV. But right here, we got Wilson, Smith, Howell, Morris. We've got some more, and we have more on up in there. I won't make you watch the scroll. But there's a lot of shared surnames. So any of those could be possible. Now remember, you can also click on the arrow and it still brings you up that expanded list. Anyway, you can click on the surnames, like you can click on Alexander, there's no Louisa, and you can click on all those to see if you match. And if you do, this is what she did. She clicked on the second one, Brooks, Elizabeth Brooks, Elizabeth Brooks. So she actually found it in her second click. Me being the hard-headed, stubborn person that I am, and the kind of a love for maps, I scrolled all the way down to the map and said, oh, let's look in France, because I recently was there. Jean Varnadou, and there's no one there by that name. So I click over here on, Scotland, or excuse me, Ireland, because, we have the Scott-Irish. These 4, none of them are in green. Mine are in green, but she doesn't have any of those in green. Go to Ireland, Wilson McFarlane, and came to England. Well, let's see, Alexander Heath Morris, and I don't have any of those shared on mine. So I wasn't finding anything there. I came over to the United States, and I clicked on this one, Mary Conklin. All right, so I've got a match, 1705, 1730, Suffolk, Livingston, New York. Same person. So I've got a match. I'll look on the tree and I match and see how her tree goes to this person. You can look at quickly here. Mary's parents, or married to Jeremiah, and there was the kids. and she was able to find it. She clicked, we showed Brooks, there was Conklin, we saw that. She also clicked on Halsey, experience Halsey, Jeremiah Halsey. Now this Jeremiah and this one aren't the same, it's actually these two that are the same. And Hal also matched. Benjamin, Samuel, Sarah. Now the death year is different on Sarah. We'll have to reconcile that. I've got her dying at 70. She has her dying at 60. She's probably right because some of this is part of that new extended tree that I got. Anyway, so there's 3 ways. You can find it maybe in the tree. You might find it in ethnicity. We're not going to count that as a way. It's possible there. You can get clues maybe to which side you match if you've got them dotted. See, all 3 of these are new matches. But if it's a closer match, when you click here on the shared matches, if you've clustered yours, like we talked about in the cluster video, when you click on it, it'll tell you what side of the family is on for another clue. But definitely click on the surnames. She found it in the second surname she checked. Now, it could have been down here at the end of the surnames. Don't forget right here where it says see 4 more, you may have several more. So don't forget to expand this. If you don't find it here, there may be some more here that you can expand and you can find it there. And don't ignore the map. The map is a great place to look. You know, Mary Conklin was up here in New York, but if I was to, come on down and, look at some of the rest of these, I would end up finding, the other people on that list. So the other place that you can look is on the through lines. And because, I knew that this was on my mother's side, I filtered it to be maternal. And I actually went to the very end and I clicked up here and I scrolled down to find, opened all these up to find out all the people that were related under every one of these, distant grandparents, just hoping that it was a unusually low centimorgan, and that way the whole tree would be there for me. And again, I was being kind of lazy at wanting Ancestry to do it for me. The easiest way was just to click on her tree, and see what she had for that person, because remember it was Mary Conklin, so I can pull up her tree. It said the Johnson family tree. See the DNA symbol right there? That's the one we matched through. And so if Ancestry will let me go to it right now, please. I'm saying please, Ancestry. I'm doing a video on it. There we go. So I came up and I'm going to do a search for Mary Conklin. Okay. So do Mary Conklin. And see, there's that experience Halsey that we talked about, and Samuel Howell, and Elizabeth Howell. See, Jeremiah, Elizabeth Brooks. There was the Brooks, Benjamin Howell there. So we came down to here, and we had Sarah Howell. And this is our closest intersecting person. Well, she has Sarah, I have Sarah, and we come through different children. Okay. So we have Benjamin and Elizabeth, but I was able to find that by going to her tree. So that's how I'm related to my cousin. It was very interesting to find it. It was kind of fun in the search, but you can find it by clicking here and going to the shared page. Maybe you'll find it in a tree. If it's 100 or maybe even 50 centimorgans or greater, you might find their match in the tree. Looking particularly for the ones that have green like that. Okay. Definitely, shared surnames is the next place. You click on all those. Again, don't forget to click on the see more and then the map and go to all the places on the map. And if it's got 37 of them, you click on it, it'll break it down and just scroll down and you can see what's in their tree. In this case, only 4. I have more, but none of them matched. And you'll know they're matched if you have it in green in yours and they have it in green in theirs. It'll show up like that. So as we come up in here and click on this, you notice that Conklin is in green, Conklin is in green. So when you click on these different locations, you're looking for something that, you got green on both sides. There's green on one side, that's not it. 2, Jeremiah Halsey, talked about, we could find it there, 1690, 1768. And look at there's Halsey and there's Hal. So there's our people, there's our most common people, experience Halsey and experience Halsey. And again, notice how they're all in green right here, and they're all in green on theirs too. So anytime they're in both trees, they're going to be green on both sides. And the last place, of course, is on through lines. And I recommend through lines again if it's 50 centimorgans. Yes, you can find it out at 20 or so, but I would definitely start on the shared page. And in this case, Brooks was a match. So she was able to find it in her second click. Me, I went to the map, and because I started over in France, it took me 5 clicks to find it. But it took us, took her a couple of seconds, took me half a minute. It didn't take very long. And there you go. That's how you can find how you're related to different people on your Ancestry DNA match list. So if you have, your DNA match list, we all have one if we've taken, that DNA test. And if you're wanting to see how you're related to each one of those, click on that person. I'll click on my cousin. I know her. I talked to her quite a bit. And so on the tree here, her tree doesn't show up, but see BR, that stands for Brown. And if you click on it, it does pull it up now without going to the next page. Brown. So that was a big clue, Browns. Shared surnames. Well, looky here. Geraldine Edmund Brown. And then all my Browns. I don't have a Geraldine Edmund Brown in my list, but it did match, through Clarence Brown. Geraldine Edmund Brown, Geraldine also went by Doris, which was a daughter of Clarence. So there's Doris J. Geraldine. And so in the census reports and the legal documents, when I was doing my research, I had it as Doris J., which was for Geraldine, but she went by Geraldine, and that was how it was marked in hers. And then Geraldine, because of the spelling and stuff, changed it to the G spelling instead of the J spelling. So there you go. And there's not a map here because of the tree and stuff. So you can't always get a tree, but that's a way you can do it. And again, here I can kind of tell which side of the family. Remember, I told you that there are certain things that can really give you a hint. Here 23%, 7. Here Italy, 49%. France. That really kind of told me, okay, this is going to be over on my dad's side. So that was a big clue for me. So there you go. The way you find how you match people in your DNA match list, you can use through lines. You can use the map. You can use the surnames, and you can use the tree. 4 distinct methods. All of them have advantages depending on what the centimorgan match. If it's a bigger centimorgan match, through lines and the tree are probably going to be, a fast way of finding it, particularly the tree. And then definitely the surnames, just click on those. One last time, don't forget, it'll likely say see more. If it doesn't, then you just click on them all. And you're looking for ones that, in the case here, they're green on both sides, the shared surnames. These will always be green, but look for the matches, experience, and Jeremiah. Look to match up the people, and then the map. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. As always, I want to say thank you for listening. And hopefully, let me know what you think about this. Sometimes, I get focused on finding, the DNA surprise and, who the missing mother, who the missing father or grandparents are, and breaking down that wall. And that, as genealogists, that's what we normally do. But with the world of DNA coming in, we've now got these huge match lists, and we want to know how we're related to them. And sometimes, what I've done is I started, in my generation, and I worked back, and I said, okay, here's, parents, and get everybody that was related to that. And I use through lines to help document, this is how through lines recommends that they are, and then kind of shore that up with information. But then there's a lot of them that go on beyond that. Well, I said that I typically have ignored those, and one of the reasons I'm ignoring them now is because I spend most of my time helping other people rather than looking at my own stuff. But those people out there, in this case, at 7 centimorgans, this is a breakthrough for me. I don't have our most recent common ancestor being, Sarah Howe. I don't have the spouse. She has the spouse. So that's a breakthrough for me. Just because she reached out and said hello, I got a breakthrough in the tree for no other reason than she said hello, and I said, "Oh, let's see how we're related." And we look it up and we see, and like, oh, I have information she doesn't have. She has information I don't have, and it really helps us both. And it really reinforced to me there is a value and an importance. First, make sure you get all those from the fifth grade grandparent under the through lines gives us that huge head start on. But then, go on out and, go on down your shared DNA match list and start using those four things. Use that, shared page, go to the tree, go to the surnames, go to the map, and, use through lines to find out how you're related to them. And these are other people, that you are related to. They may have pieces of your tree that you're looking for that you may not have, just like she did in my case. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Share it to anybody you think might, find it useful. I think, tips and tricks on how to find how people on your DNA match list actually are related to you. I think that's something that a lot of people could use. And I want to say thank you to you all. Last video we had 4,000 subscribers. We're up to 4,300 now, I think. It's, going kind of crazy. If you look back, we started this 6 months ago helping out Josh validate his family tree, and started making some videos to help him and some other people, and it just kind of took off. And I know it was a few weeks later we had 100 subscribers, and I said, wow, I was hoping to get 100 views. I really never even gave it a thought to having 100 subscribers, and now here we are with 4,300 subscribers, all of you great people. And I just, to say that I am surprised or in awe, shocked, it would be a gross understatement, no matter how I said it. And how much I say I appreciate you all, that's an understatement too. I really thank you and appreciate the fact that you take time to watch these. It helps, helps keep me inspired to keep doing them. So appreciate you for that. And, 5,000 is coming up. And I think it's probably about a month or so away. And when we do, I got a little surprise. Well, maybe a big surprise for everybody. But anyway, thank you all from the bottom of my heart for, taking the time to listen to these videos. And you guys have a great weekend.